Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. Today, we're going short track racing, fresh off of a heck of an event in Mid-Ohio where we got our first pole as a NASCAR Cup Series Canadian rookie. It was a great day for us. Unfortunately, I wrecked myself from the lead, and we ended up not winning that race, of course, against Formula One legends of Jenson Button, Kimi Räikkönen. We saw Michael McDowell defy all odds and win the race. Of course, a road ringer. Not surprising to see him get a win on a road course for the second win of his Cup Series career, of course, with the Daytona 500 already under his belt. So, I have no internet again for the fourth time since May, so I'm going to take you guys on a bit of a story here. I will have the pre-show. This video will not go out until I can get the pre-show, which I need internet for, but there won't be no radio transmissions with the actual engineer in this race. We'll give you a short version of my internet situation. In May, my fiber line got cut by road construction crew. I was down for 5 days before it got fixed. I basically got hooked into my neighbor's fiber box who has the same internet as me, and then the road construction crew cut his line. A week later, we lost internet for a few days again. The internet company, which is Rogers for me here in Canada, then comes out and runs a complete new line from the other side of the block where there's no road construction anywhere near it. And basically, instead of in the ground, it's above ground on top of the power lines, and it goes over our house. So it was hooked in, it was working again. However, about 2 weeks ago, it just went out again, and they said the line just didn't have enough strength anymore, so we were out for a day or two that time, and then they came out and replaced the line and put us back into being hooked in with our neighbor's box, so we were bridged off him again, which it worked for about a week. And then Saturday, it went out again, and here I am on Wednesday, still no internet. The internet people are supposed to be out today, so I'm hoping I can put this video out on Thursday, maybe Friday is probably more of the likely scenario, but yeah. That's the situation. The service is horrendous, and it is what it is. Here we are in qualifying now, after I gave you that story, crossing the line, 21.288. That's going to put us P25 for the Toyota Owners 400. So some work to do. We were coming off of very strong efforts, of course, in the last few episodes with Atlanta, a top 10 there, in Mid-Ohio, a great run as well, but some work to do here today. P25, not where we want to be starting short tracks. It's been a little bit rough on us so far. Of course, we have had a very small sample size of short track racing here with like Phoenix, and that's barely a short track, but you can see the rest of the qualifying order there. On pole, it's going to be Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Logano, Larson, and Harvick joining them in the top 5. A good effort from Suarez as well. Truex there with still his future in question. Allmendinger in P10 as the Trucks and Xfinity Series were also in town, but they were actually in Martinsville, sorry. Grant Enfinger ended up winning at Martinsville in the Truck Series. You see the rest of the order there. The Xfinity Series, though, they were joining us in Richmond, and we'll take a look at the finishing order for that series as well. It was AJ Allmendinger picking up the victory on Saturday as he looks to do the same on Sunday afternoon. Day racing in Richmond, of course, for the Cup Series there. But you see the rest of the order for the Xfinity Series. Now we are going to get ready to go racing here Sunday. Let's send it over to the pre-show with Chris Meyers.
Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia. We're here for some genuine short track racing on this beautiful spring day. Last week we had a shock in Mid-Ohio as Michael McDowell pulled off the win. Did this surprise you, Mike?
No, not really, Chris. Michael comes from a road racing background. He's expected to do well at those tracks. I think the only surprising thing was how he won, on strategy. Now he's locked into the playoffs, and Front Row can focus on trying to get Gilliland in.
And that team knows how to use strategy, Mike. Remember, they won with Buescher at the Fog Pocono race. That team can find a way to get that 38 in as well, I think.
All right, there you have it, everybody. Now, I hope you're ready for some racing here in Richmond. I would personally consider this to be the first legitimate short track, because I think calling Phoenix a short track is just wrong. I mean, I guess maybe because you can pull off a bump and run there, they're like, it's a short track. In my opinion, it's too large for a short track. It doesn't race like a short track, etc. But Elliott on pole. Noah Gragson, who we are almost rivals with starting at the back after failing technical inspection. Truex, an unapproved body modification during qualifying, so he'll be starting at the back going forward as well here now as we are ready to roll. It's been two great races. Back-to-back top 10s has put us in the playoffs as a rookie, but here we are underway in Richmond Richmond, we could see a bit of a different tale in this episode, I think, now, as we are officially underway. Kyle Busch just in front of us in that number 8 car. Some news about Richard Childress Racing. They are making changes to that team, to both the 3 and the 8 car, at the end of this Richmond race weekend, and I would expect to see some more speed out of both cars starting in the next episode. Contact immediately there with the 7 of Corey LaJoy, and I was running the 14 up the track a little bit there. There's my teammate of Haley just in front of us. We both qualified pretty bad. Austin Dillon up my inside, and now the Daytona 500 winner of Riley Herbst up my inside as well, as he is going to try and go through. And you do not want to be in the second lane here in Richmond as a player. It's the inside or nothing at all. You're going backwards if you're not on the inside. Simple as that. So starting on the outside, not easy for myself here. Washing up the track on the exit of 4. McDowell, the defending race winner, of course, from last episode there in Mid-Ohio, goes through. Fellow rookie of Ty Gibbs passes us, and I would get in line finally behind the 14 of Chase Briscoe, and then we would try to start moving our way back forward. Kyle Busch really struggling here today. He's had a rough start to the season with this debut with Richard Childress Racing, which is a reason that they are making changes already, because he has struggled hard. Austin Dillon struggled quite a bit, but not as much as the 8, surprisingly. But yeah, I would expect to see a pace improvement from both cars in the next episode, leading through the rest of this regular season, based off of the changes that they'll be making with personnel. But we continue on, already halfway through stage 1, a big slide on the exit of turn 2. We save it, but at what cost? The door of the 47, who's going to slide into the outside wall, actually does keep it off the wall and saves it. So we continue on. P29, as my car was so loose in these closing laps of the stage. Merton Truex Jr. has slowly pulled his way forward, and now was passing myself here up the inside down into turn 1, and I knew immediately we got to tighten this car up tremendously going into the pit stops, because I couldn't go forward anymore. It was so loose. I was running terribly, and we were just hanging on to the end of the stage, which thankfully ends a couple laps early because a caution comes out. I could not get a replay for this caution, so I'm not sure exactly what caused it. But yeah, P30 at the end of stage 1. Absolutely terrible. He will come in and throw 4 tires on, and you're going to see the adjustments I'm about to make. They're pretty big. It looks like Kyle Larson. Yeah, Larson brings out the caution there. I'm going to assume a tire failure, and it's actually going to be the end of the day. Larson's day is going to be over. A bit of an up and down start to the season for Larson as well. It's been hit or miss. He's either been very, very quick, or he's been a bit off. And today, it looks like, well, he's off now. 4 tires. We're going to put up the grill tape to 55 from 40. Put up the wedge, and then see what that does. And then after that, we're going to start tackling tire pressures if that's not enough. We gained 2 spots in the pit lane. Chase Elliott, your stage 1 winner, leads the way for stage 2. Elliott looking for that first win of the season here. A bit of a stack up in front of us there. That's the 45 of Reddick on our inside here. Another driver that's had a bit of a rough start to the season. Look at my rear view mirror. That's the 15 of Brennan Poole, as I give a shot at the back of the 77. But Brennan Poole in the 51, in the field. And the Eric East step out of the groove paint scheme, actually. You might get a better look at it later on. Actually, I can confirm you will get a better look at it here a little bit later on. But here we are up the inside of the Daytona 500 winner of Riley Herbst. I'm a bit concerned with his pace. I think he might make the playoffs, because you have to be in the top 30 in points in Heat 5. But he continues to run right around 30th every race, which will probably be good enough to get him into the playoffs. It was not supposed to be full-time, but obviously after winning the 500, Rick Ware said, we're going to keep you on, and Sonny D agreed to fund the whole season in hopes that they make the playoffs. We passed our teammate of Allmendinger, who's now the worst running colleague car after he was the best qualifying colleague car there in P10. Only P27, I was struggling quite hard. Now up ahead, trouble. Kurt Busch goes around into turn 3, contact there with the 14, big hits there. Truex gets a piece of it in that 67 Monster Energy 2311 car, gets another hit from a few more cars. Caution's gonna fly, and immediately I'm looking at coming potentially into the pits, but then I saw nobody else was, so I stayed out, so we would get ready to go back green. Kurt Busch remains in the race, so not day over for the veteran there. That could be in his final season of Cup Series competition. We're back underway again. Chase Elliott continues to lead the way. It's been dominance from that Napa Auto Parts car so far here. Will it continue in this Toyota Owners 400? Elliott never won at Richmond, so trying to change that here today in this 2023 season here, but again, not where I want to be on the restart. On the outside, that's the last spot that I would prefer to be as we head down towards turn 3. Ryan Blaney actually to the lead now. So that 12 car out front, I think Elliott got shuffled up to the outside, and that's what's put him back here. Now, as you can see, Gibbs up my inside. There's so many Monster Energy cars. I swear we might as well just put 40 of them out here. But yeah, P28 for the time being, slipping up the inside of the 77 of Ty Dillon. Now I got Kurt Busch filling up my rear view mirror, and he's up my inside. I really abused the left side of that 77, but I slide back into the inside behind Kurt and hang on to the position. This race so far is reminding me a lot of, what was it, Las Vegas, where the car is just not feeling good, it's not fast, and we're just kind of hanging on, hoping for cautions to kind of benefit us. Now, the adjustments we made at the end of stage 1 were certainly a step in the right direction, because we're pretty evidently running better, not much better. We were like 30th in stage 1, we're now just going for 27th, which we would complete the pass on Michael McDowell just about here on the exit of 2. How about Chastain? Rough day so far for the watermelon toss, man. Of course, 2 wins on the season, the most of anybody so far from Chastain. Ty Dillon up my inside. I swear, I keep seeing the 77 car, and it's starting to get a bit annoying at this point here as we head down towards turn 1. Bell now out in front, the bumper to the back of the 77 of Dillon here. It's going to go for a bit of a slide. I did not mean to hit him a second time, but we just kind of push our way through. That's the 3rd time I think we have gotten into the 77 here today. I don't think Ty Dillon's a big fan of me now, as McDowell went for a bit of a slide as well. We were P27, trying my best to move forward here up the inside of Kyle Busch, who continues to struggle. We pass him for P26. Keselowski next up here in line, but then again the 77's here up my inside. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. First of all, that pace in the 77 is quite impressive here today, because usually it's a 35th place car, but now here he is in the mid-20s. I'm not making it easy on Ty Dillon. I swear that I don't hate Ty Dillon. I was just making his life miserable today though. But we continue on in P27. Dillon continues to move forward here. I'm up the inside of Keselowski again on the exit of 2. Clear contact there on the exit of the corner there, and we actually get to the outside wall. We slid across his nose, and he got into the back of me, which kind of shot me to the right into the wall, which that was all my fault, none of Brad's fault, and I was starting to really struggle again. The car getting sideways every time we come out of the corner, and now it was just about surviving again. Yes, we've made improvements, and that's pretty evident in the running position by 2 gained positions. However, we still have a long way to go, and I was already thinking about, okay, tire pressures is where we have to look at next, so I'm going to make some huge tire pressure adjustments. We might go a lap down though here in stage 2. There's only a handful of laps to go, but Bell is close here. Lap 34 coming to just a few laps to go in this stage. Big time sideways again, hard into the outside wall. That's going to actually bring out the caution here. Might actually be a gift, because I don't think that if the stage went green to the end, I think I was going a lap down. So me binning it into the outside wall is actually going to save us. I think I went a preset too loose for this episode. I was running a looser preset than I did in the 2022 version, and I was regretting it. So we're going to come in and make some big adjustments again. More wedge added in, but the the right side tire pressures, I'm going all the way to the left, down to about 23 PSI. So I made some really big swings at it in hopes that this is going to just make a better handling car and allow me to get through the stage, because stage 3 is now, as you can see, over 40 laps long. William Byron and the number 24 out front, joining Christopher Bell, as I'm immediately going to get aggressive here. Lunge one up the inside, down into turn 1, even slip up the inside to the 47. 3 wide as we come through the center of the corner, down the SPAC straightaway. Keselowski on the far outside. He gets clear now, just 2 wide as we head down into turn 3. The 51, look at that, out of the groove paint scheme made by Sanok. Again, makes banger paint schemes here, of course. He also made the car that we're running, this top Golf, number 16 colleague Chevrolet Camaro. Ryan Blaney currently out in front here now as we're going to clear that 47 up to P26. That might be our best of the day so far, just about at this point here, and we continue to try and fight on. Burton with a bit of a moment right there that allows me to get clear. So P25 we get up to. Here we are again with Ty Dillon on the exit of turn 2, side by side there. A very slight contact right there on his door. It's really hard to stay off of a car's door when you exit the corner here in Richmond, because the car really likes to push up like that right there. And now we're 3 wide in the middle with the 51 and the 77. It's just one of those days in Richmond where just things aren't really going well here. Now as I'm all over the back of the 51, trying to clear that 77. 51 gets a little bit sideways and more contact with the 77. Myself and Dillon continue to go at it here. Now as he's into the outside wall, as Ty Dillon probably wants to just beat the daylights out of me right now, as we continue to move forward. Up to now P24. I'm absolutely fighting for my life to run 24th place right now. Huge change in pace from the last 2 episodes where we were top 10 in Atlanta and Mid-Ohio here. Lap 66, here comes Eric Jones now putting some pressure on me. That's not for position. Jones is a lap down, so I wasn't really interested too much in fighting him. So he goes through, and 34 laps to go still in this race, and now I was already starting to fade a little bit. Truex is having a rough day. He's in 23rd still. Harrison Burton now up my inside, and look in my mirror again, it's Ty Dillon. I'm like, holy crap, it's never going to end, is it? He was continuing to fill up my rear view mirror. He started running the outside, so we would fall back a little bit, but you can see down to P25 with less than now 30 laps to go, hoping that a caution is going to come out anytime now. Truex was actually starting to come towards me a little bit here in these final 28 laps, so I had a little bit of confidence there. I mean, we have continued to make upgrades to this car. We're running P25 consistently as a caution actually does come out. Smoke ahead, it's Suarez in the 99 who's gone around, and it looks like another tire failure. We'll get a look at it momentarily, but everybody's going to pit, and we are still going to make some adjustments here. We've been adjusting it every chance we get. Left side tire pressure is going up further. A little bit of an adjustment on the right front tire pressure and the right rear as well to go down to 21 as the lefts go up to 15. Here's a look at the yellow. Suarez blows the tire. Awkward spot. Heavy hit right there. Big hit again. He's going to come down across the track and then go across into his teammate of Chastain who gets a piece of it, and then the 38 of Gilliland as well. Some big impacts with the 99 of Suarez, but we haven't seen like a huge impact this season. Our crew gained us 4 spots in the pits. We're up to P21. Here we are with a chance somehow to top 20 in the final 25 laps here in Richmond. It's not been a pretty race. We have made enemies for sure with Ty Dillon, but we're going to head down towards turn 1, slide one up the inside of Ty Gibbs. I don't mind putting Ty Gibbs in a bad position whatsoever, so we continue on, clearing the 54 Monster Energy machine. We're 3 wide on the exit of 2, side by side with our colleague teammate of Justin Haley, Brad Kozlowski on the outside. I catch the apron into turn 3, bit of an awkward entry to the corner. Look at everybody though driving away as we continue on 3 wide. As this final stage has kind of gone on, Chase Elliott has of course lost the lead. He's still running top 3 though, in 3rd place to be exact right now, so still has a shot to potentially win this race here now. Kozlowski clear. We continue side by side with the 31, but as we come through 3 out of turn 4, that 31 is just going to have the momentum right here to be able to pull clear as we head down towards turn number 1. So fight over with the 31. Chastain right there in front of me, but now Ty Gibbs up my inside. We still are struggling. This car is just not good, and there he is again. Ty Dillon. I'm going to get in behind that 77 here. I'm tired of seeing this car, but he was actually moving up to the outside, so that allowed me to fight up the inside again here now, and more contact with the 77. Now I was put just about 3 wide. We clear the 77. Austin Cindric to my inside. I don't think that was for a position. No, it wasn't. Harrison Burton, though, is for a position. I'm trying my best to defend. Elliott back out in front at this point here as Burton now gets up my inside. I just didn't have anything for him, so he's going to get clear into 1, and I'll slide in behind that number 21. Now Truex just behind, bringing Poole and the 77 of Ty Dillon with them here. 15 laps to go, and we're having a 21st place run, which felt like a win to me at this point in the race, but it wasn't long until Poole is going to be right there on my left rear into turn 1, a little bit tight there into the corner. That allows Poole to exit up my inside, and now he's going to bring Gilliland with him, and Daniel Suarez is back into the mix already here, so showing there's some actual pace in that 99 here. Eric Jones now is for position. Contact there with the 38. Now contact with the 43 as we head down towards turn 1. You saw the little brake check from the 38. There goes the 43 sliding into the first turn. Head on, or not head on, rear end into the outside wall. That's going to bring out the caution here in Richmond. And that was all because of me. I got into the back of the 38. He kind of checked up and I hit him. Got him sideways, and then I just kind of pushed through him right there, and then there was contact right there. That contact with the 43 is what actually crashed him into the next corner because of just the way Heat 5 physics are. We are quickly becoming a target here in this race. I've been fighting this car all race long. I've been driving like garbage because of this car being bad, and NASCAR is not very impressed either. So stay tuned. Following this episode, going into the start of the next episode, there's going to be a little bit of a introduction. Let's just say NASCAR wants to have a chat following this race after, well, the display we've been putting on here now, as we've finally actually caused a legitimate accident here. Other than that, it's just been me being a menace to the 77, but now we've wiped out a couple cars, so we continue on. Blaney out in front, but how much longer? Because here goes Kurt Busch in the 67 who wrecked earlier. to the lead as I'm trying my best to fight for a top 25 effort here in these closing laps down into turn 1 up the inside of that 99 of Suarez. Bubba Wallace, my teammate of Haley, just in front only a few laps ago at this point, and now William Byron actually took the lead from Kurt Busch in these closing moments. Is Byron about to get his second win of the season? I think so. As we head down into 1 up the inside of Brendan Poole, though, we're going to gain that position now. Eventually we would clear him, so up to P23. We got up the inside as well of that 3 of Austin Dillon right there on his door, but fortunately he would run way up the track into turn 1, so that was a really easy pass there to go up into 22nd. So we hang on to the final lap, and somehow P22 William Byron leading the way through 1 and 2 on this final lap, and it's going to be that 24, I would assume, hanging on. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Elliott thought he had the fastest car. Well, maybe that team just didn't stick with the, of course, changing track conditions, and William Byron is going to get win number 2 of the season here in Richmond through 3 and 4. 22nd feels like a win after the way this car was all day long. We crossed the stripe for 22nd place. We'll take it. I will absolutely take it here. As you can see, the rest of the finishing order. Kurt Busch with a solid day in the top 5. Elliott there, P6. Busher, Bowman, both top 10s for those drivers as well. A solid day for them. As you can see, the rest of the order. Ty Dillon ended up P15. What could he have done? I wonder if I didn't wreck him so many times. Overall, a really frustrating race with a decent ending to it, you know? I definitely didn't make any friends today. NASCAR is not very impressed with how I drove, because I ran into the 77 like 5 different times. I wrecked the 43 and the 38 there, plowing through them. So yeah, NASCAR is not very impressed with how I drove. We are now 7 points out of the playoffs there, but we have our second multi-time winner of the season. So 5 different winners in 7 races, of course. Bristol is in the next episode. We might have a short track ringer there. Bowman's now mad. I don't even remember even being near him in that race. Wasn't he ahead of me the whole time? I don't remember. Did we have contact with him in Mid-Ohio? I can't remember any contact there. So that's going to wrap it up. However, we've got a chat with NASCAR to start the Bristol race in the next episode, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody.